your latest BBC Radio Kent Sport. Good morning, you're listening to BBC Radio Kent at breakfast. A group of frustrated musicians in Chelsfield have launched their annual Christmas song, and it's full of, well, over-the-top riffs and tongue-in-cheek lyrics. They've been doing this for something like a decade. They're the community group The Belldrinkers, known for their annual Christmas singles, featured here on BBC Radio Kent. The brainchild of local musicians Lester Barnes and Dave Griffiths.
Look at all these lovely presents piled up high beneath the tree. One looks so very festive, some I fear are meant for me. Bring them first and then the paper, scented candle, what the calendar of Vulcan bombers. No one saw my face with luck.
And bringing together amateur singers and players from the local area, last year their 10th festive single, and undeterred and by never making a penny, quite frankly, in royalties, they're at it again for 2025's offering Cross Me Off Your Christmas List. Listen to this, gang, they're amazing. Our reporter Phil Harrison is in the recording studio where it was all put together. Good morning to you, Phil.
Oh my goodness, you can tell it's Christmas when I find myself at the house of Lester Barnes one more time. I can't remember how many times I've done this, but this is their 11th single. It's quite an achievement, really, that they haven't stopped, but they have just kept going. It's the village where everyone is a little bit OTT and they celebrate it. So we've got Lester Barnes and we've got Dave Griffiths and we've got the singer as well, Alexis Coulson. We'll have a chat with Alexis at the moment, how she's been inveigled into doing all this. But first of all, gentlemen, I mean, this started off as a bit of a joke in the pub, the Five Bells, and it's just grown from there, hasn't it, Dave?
Yes, it started off. We decided we'd try and write a song together to see if we liked each other, and we wrote one song in 2015, and it went down really well. And then we got into a cycle of doing it every year, and they're all just silly songs, but we've enjoyed doing it, although it's become increasingly more work.
Now, you are a professional musician, Lester. You've composed TV themes, you do adverts. Are you always surprised at the level of talent that walks among you here in the village?
I think it's quite extraordinary to actually at our village more than anywhere else that there are so many people who are amateur musicians and professional musicians as well as quite an eager bunch of people who want to sing and contribute and be a part of it. So it is quite unique, I think, probably compared to a lot of villages perhaps, where there is that sense of everyone wanting to come together as a community and be part of a song. So yeah, I think it's quite unique actually in a way, but it's always so much fun to get people involved and have contributions from people who otherwise probably wouldn't have been in bands and stuff, but get a chance at Christmas to be part of our village thing as a community song more than anything else.
It's the village everyone wants to be part of. Now, the lyrics themselves, there's one heck of a list of Christmas presents that people possibly smile and say, oh, you're so kind, you shouldn't have. No, you shouldn't have. You've actually put them down into the lyrics of Cross Me Off Your Christmas List.
Yes, I have to say a lot of the presents were things I sort of made up, mainly because they rhymed, which is I'm not saying I'm a lazy lyricist, but that's always useful if they rhyme. So I chucked out some verses because I couldn't get rhymes to work. But there are things like a jigsaw puzzle, mostly red, which just represents all jigsaw puzzles which are impossible to do, and you want to murder someone halfway through doing them. And then the other one, the final one, is a mouse taxidermy kit, which I believe is the only genuine present that someone in the village genuinely was bought, and it didn't include any mice, which was disappointing, I expect.
And it's a tribute actually to a friend of yours who used to perform on the records every year, but unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, very sadly, one of the local residents, Paul Skinner, who was an amazing bass singer and a regular contributor to all of our songs in the past, the last 10, he sadly passed away this year, and we wanted to memorialise him in several ways with his photographs. But I added a bit of Morse code in the drum percussion section under what was, for a joke, we were going to make a New Orleans funeral march when we came up with the idea for this song a long time ago. And Paul sadly passed after we'd come up with the idea, so we thought rhythmically we'd put Morse code into the drum pattern that it would spell out the letters of Paul's name, Pete Paul. So yeah, it's a sad loss, but he's still with us in our hearts, and we got all the recordings with him singing amazing bass lines on the previous hits.
Yeah, good memories. Well, someone who's come back for more punishment is Alexis Coulson. She first performed on your second Christmas single, and you're back for this one. And what's it like being back with Lester and Dave again?
Honestly, it's so much fun. I missed it quite a lot because I was really young when I did the first one, but it's just a really good experience because I got really scared going and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to completely mess this up. But the whole time it's just so much fun and just banter.
Now, despite being a bell drinker as well, you've got something of a singing career yourself. You've almost left them in your tracks.
Yeah, I mean, I performed on the West End earlier this year in September, His Majesty's Theatre, with the Pauline Quirk Academy, and that was really fun. We did Across the Line, and it was honestly such an amazing experience.
Bit more serious than this, though.
Yeah, I'd say so.
What do your friends think about the song? Because you did the big reveal in the pub this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my friends have already found it from school and stuff, and they all just find it really funny. They think it's something really cool that we do as like a village community, and honestly, quite a few of them have actually asked if they can come down as well. The video's always on standby with my friends, and they always think it's a lot of fun.
We'll hear more adventures in music and more with Alexis, Lester, and Dave, the Belldrinkers, and their latest single, Cross Me Off Your Christmas List. It's available now across social media.
Taxidermy, yet you thought I'd like a kit. Stuffing Mike's at fire mornings isn't on my bucket list.
Cross Me Off Your Christmas List by the Belldrinkers, available for your viewing and listening pleasure across social media right now. Back with our reporter Phil on the road later in the programme. Let's go over to the BBC Weather Centre. A bit of Christmas cheer this morning we've been spreading as it took us to a place in Kent called Chelsfield. And this little ditty of a Christmas hitty. A group of frustrated musicians have launched their annual Christmas song. It's full of over-the-top riffs and some tongue-in-cheek lyrics, to be fair. It's a group of frustrated musicians who have launched their annual Christmas song. So this is the community group, the Belldrinkers, known for their annual Christmas singles featured on BBC Radio Kent. The brainchild of local musicians are Lester Barnes and Dave Griffiths, bringing together amateur singers and players from the area. Last year was their 10th festive single. I mean, to be honest, no money in royalties.
Look at all these lovely presents piled up high beneath the tree. Well, it looks so very festive. Some might fear are meant for me. Bring them first and then the paper. Scented candle, what the calendar of Vulcan bombers. No one saw my face with luck.
So our reporter Phil Harrison has spent the morning in Chelsfield. He's been there at the studio where it was all put together.
Morning, Dom. This is one of my favourite assignments of the year. I can almost smell the turkey now that I find myself at the house of Lester Barnes. We are so close to Christmas now. And once again, they really haven't taken the hint, Dom. They keep releasing these Christmas songs. They're two friends. They met in the pub, the Five Bells, hence they're called the Belldrinkers. And this is a village that just likes to do things that little bit extra. I mean, your village fete, it's not just a fete, is it?
Oh no, our village fete. We got quite a small village. I think it's about 45, 50 houses. But I put an air show on there, so we have an air show every year, and that's mainly because it's why on earth would you have an air show? Why not? It's fun. So in the middle of July, we have a Spitfire thundering around the village at 200 feet, and nothing wrong with that. Every village should have its own Spitfire, I think.
Indeed, Chelsfield. It's a place where dreams come true. I mean, what you do, this is the 11th year you've done it. It's almost getting on to the verge now. Last year, you found yourself in the New York Post. You were on the BBC World Service. It's getting to the stage now where we have a Hollywood movie about what you do. Who would be playing you, Lester?
Oh my God, I don't really know. It's who would you think, Dave?
Oh, I think Judi Dench could play him beautifully. I mean, he's got Dame written all over him in so many ways.
I'm seeing Bill Nighy here as well. We've got, as Dave, we've got Alexis Coulson here as well. Alexis, you've been sucked into this one more time. You performed as a child for these guys many years ago, and now you're back as a West End performer yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly definitely a pipeline. When I was younger, I definitely remember it being a bit intimidating, standing there about like 2 feet tall, surrounded by all these people all belting around you, and you can hear my little squeaky voice in the old videos, and you can just see my dad laughing in the background.
What's it like being part of this community, though? I mean, it must just bind everyone together.
It definitely does, and it makes for some fun stories for sure. There's never a dull moment when you go down for any village event, to be honest. Especially in the village fair, there's always something going on. After everyone's left, there's always something happening, so it's always really fun to be around with. But especially around Christmas, it's always fun seeing what like diabolical lyrics they've cooked up this year.
Just run through some of the things that you can be crossed off your Christmas list, because this is a song all about some of the presents. I mean, it's the giving, not the receiving, that we have to remember. But you've just flagged up a few things that people may not want to receive, really.
Yes, I mentioned the jigsaw puzzle with all the pieces exactly the same. There's a funny coffee mug, because funny coffee mugs rarely are, and there's a board game which you wouldn't want. There's should we mention the Liz Truss autobiography, and that's apparently unwanted by some people, not necessarily me, but me. And there's the mouse. Oh, there's the tickets to an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical, and we have certain opinions that may come across in the lyrics, so listen, and if you don't agree with us, then you're wrong.
Now, you went international last year. You made a big splash in America. What were the comments like by the people over there? Because obviously everyone likes to chip in with their own opinions these days.
I think it was the sort of what I guess was perceived as the English sense of Christmas community, and with the references to the things that we find normal at Christmas that perhaps aren't quite the same these days, but still that sort of coming together and group singing and just joys of being together, really.
Cross Me Off Your Christmas List by the Belldrinkers.